Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is IMS's slot 2 CAT 25 expected cutoffs. So again, we are relying on student feedback and more importantly mentors feedback for our estimate of cutoff for the slot 2 of CAT 25. Now obviously the paper pattern, the number of questions, number of theta questions, everything will remain similar to slot 1. So for example, VARC had 4 theta questions, DLR had 11 theta questions and QA had 8 theta questions, which leads to a total of 23 theta questions out of the total of 68 questions. Now, when I compare it to CAT 25 slot 1, the slight advantage slot 2 and slot 2 candidates have is that they are more or less aware of the paper pattern and the overall difficulty level. So, the shock factor, the surprise factor is a little lesser as compared to slot 1. This has been accounted for in our cutoff estimates. For VARC, based on the mentor feedback, it looks like the entire paper was very similar in terms of difficulty level to CAT 25 slot 1. Here VA was found to be slightly easy, maybe one odd question was slightly easy as compared to slot 1 questions, but broadly I would say it's absolutely the same. DLR, we found the paper to be slightly more difficult as compared to slot 1, right? So the sets were a little more tricky. So 2 sets were very doable, but overall the difficulty level is higher. So as per our feedback, it is the difficulty level is somewhere between CAT 23 and CAT 24, closer to CAT 23 in terms of the cutoff estimates. The same feedback for QA. So in slot 1 we had said it is simpler compared to CAT 24. Here we would say that the paper has become difficult. It is difficult as compared to slot 1 of CAT 25 and also difficult as compared to slot 1 of CAT 24. So QA we found a change in the difficulty level. Again somewhere between CAT 24 and CAT 23 difficulty level. Arithmetic was very similar in terms of difficulty level as compared to slot 1 of this year itself, but for all the other modules, be it algebra, geometry, modern math, the questions were a little more tricky. So students who are aiming at that 98, 99 percentile mark, maybe you will have one or two fewer attempts as compared to what slot 1 students had, and hence the difference in the estimates for the cutoffs there. Coming to the numbers, two disclaimers. One, this is based on raw scores, which obviously will be scaled when it comes to the release of the final CAT 25 scorecards. And point two, these are only our initial estimates. Please do not take any major decision based on these cutoffs. We will, once the response sheet is out, we'll have far more accurate details. Now, like I said, for VARC, the cutoffs are broadly similar. We have raised it by 1 or 2 marks upwards because the shock factor is no longer there. In terms of DLR and QA both, we have reduced the score required to reach a particular percentile mark. So for example, if you score 30 in DLR, you will get the 99 percentile mark. Score of 13 should give you the chance to clear the 85 percentile cutoff. In terms of QA, we have actually dropped the cutoffs by 4 to 6 marks depending upon the percentile range. So score of 43 should give you the 99.9 percentile mark. A score of 20 should give you that 95 percentile mark, and score of 13 should help you clear the 85 percentile cutoff. In terms of the overall score, we feel a score of 115 is good enough for that 99.9 percentile mark. This is a drop of 7 marks as compared to the previous slot. In terms of the 99 percentile mark, again a score of 83 is good enough, whereas it required a 90 in the first slot. So if you look at the detailed numbers, we feel that for the 98 percentile and above mark, that there is a drop of 6 to 7 marks between slot 1 and slot 2, and for the 80 to 98 percentile mark, the drop is about 4 to 5 marks. So IMS's verdict, slot 2 was slightly more difficult as compared to slot 1, specifically for QA followed by DLR. So I wish all the best to slot 3 students. I would say more or less now we know that how the paper is going to be. So be a little more selective doing DLR and do not lose your cool while the quant section is on. All the best.